The world of professional motorsport can be a very cruel place. Very often we hear of drivers with immense talent not getting the careers they truly deserve, maybe because they lack the financial backing, or they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, or they can't commit at the right time or in the right ways. And today I bring you another story of a career that showed immense promise and talent being cut short. And that career, sadly, is mine. Why are you laughing? At the end of the last episode of Sim Racing Superstar, I said I was going to do a supercut of all the races that I'd recorded and saved up from 2020. Yes, 2020. And then after that, I would go and do some live races. But I've actually taken the decision to end the series after these final 3 supercut episodes. So we're just going to have some wall-to-wall racing action to round off the series. I'm going to explain why I've ended the series, why it was probably a bad idea for me to start the series in the first place, and what I'm going to replace it with. So strap in, this Sim Racing Superstar is about to go supernova and die. My name's Ash, this is The Outside Line. And we start at Fuji Speedway. Group 3 cars, it so often is. I've gone into the Mercedes. Probably not the best choice of car for this one, as this track, because of its long straight, really wanted better straight line speed, but I also prefer a more stable car, which is why I've gone with it. We start this race on pole. I'm picking the best 1 or 2 races from every event. You're not going to see everyone, just some of the highlights and indeed the low lights as well. So off to a pretty good start, but look out for Crazy Joe 11, the Croatian driver, in second. Despite me getting a fastest lap and leading all the way through, he seemed to be a bit more on it, a bit more consistent, and as you can see, he's starting to press us here and looking to get alongside us, so have to go defensive into this set of right-handers. And this is the section where I should be stronger. I think I've got a better turn in with my particular choice of car. Again, still lighting up purple sectors, although he's probably going quicker at this point. Good bit of defensive driving, but here comes a crunch point, because I slightly leave the door open, he lunges up. It's kind of 50-50 whether that was a cheeky him knocking the door open or whether I left the door open. So not ideal, but I've got the toe on the main straight, so I can at least try and get back at him. And so we do. So he goes defensive, I go to the outside. I love trying to cut back manoeuvre, and I go for it here. But again, one of my weaknesses, if I'm going to go for a cutback manoeuvre, need to be better on the throttle, so I completely missed it. While chasing him, get a little bit iffy on car positioning, and we wait, and there it is. 1 second for that very minor, but I think clear track violation. As a result, he pulls away, and I end up second. The best result I ended up getting in this event, but I wanted to show you this one. So I'm starting from 4th. I'm in the Huracan here. Lamborghini Huracan was a very popular choice for this event because of its straight line speed, but it's got quite an unstable back end. And if there's anything to compare myself and 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel, it is that we both love a car with a stable back end. It's probably the only thing that are similar between us, but hey ho. So I decided to give it a go to make myself a bit more competitive and get off to a good start. Gain 1 place early doors, and you know, at this point I still haven't won a race from lower than pole. So at this point I am determined to try and break that hoodoo. Now as you can see, we are surrounded by Huracans, got one behind us, one ahead of us, and a Golf up front, and a good opportunity here. Again, I see someone leaves the door wide open, and I get straight up there. He does a bit of a late defensive move, but I think nice clear overtake here. Immediately, we're bearing down on the leader. So at this point, I'm thinking, great, I'm getting the hang of driving a slightly more temperamental car, reaping the benefits of the straight line speed. However, a little return lunge from the Swiss driver, and I leave him way too much space, and as a result, all hell begins to break loose. I've now dropped quite a few positions. I then turn in, hit the Hungarian driver, become a pinball, slightly my fault that even started. I'm now all the way down to 7th. Kind of wrecked it. However, lots of other people start to lose their head here, and just like that, back up to 5th. Watch the radar though, as pinball continues, and I knock into the Porsche. And just like that, I get completely swamped, more absolute madness going on behind me, and I've come out 7th. However, I have got the tow. I've got a car with good straight line speed. I can recover from this. Imagine, I was second briefly and bearing down on the leader. Really mess it up, but a great move up the inside, 3 abreast into the braking zone, and I've just gained 3 places. Sorry, 4 cars, 3 places. Good maths. I'm back up to 4th. I can see the top 3 ahead. I know that I can be quicker than them. Time to get my head down and get after them. Yeah, I finished 13th. On to a one-make race at Alsace village. We're in Peugeot Sport 208 GTIs, 3rd place on the grid, still now more determined than ever to break the hoodoo of not being able to win from lower than pole. We're chasing AK100 and Mars Manu into turn 1, and these were quite fun races, very British touring car vibes, lots of rubbing and bumping. It didn't descend into complete tomfoolery, but as you're about to see, there are still some lovely moments as we get a little bit close coming through into the first left-hander. Now, coming up to the first big braking zone. Usually problems here. I kind of slammed the door on this guy. We have a bit of a knock, but I hold on to it, but then he just decides he's going to use me as a battering ram. Becomes a little bit of madness there. Don't know what this Italian driver's done, but he's got problems, and we've dropped to 5th. Getting banged on the outside by SBG Type R. Having to hold off him. We can still see the leader. No time to panic just yet. So, I then get hit up the back here and hit the Belgian driver. I end up getting a little bit of an advantage from that, but at the end of the day, there's nothing I can really do about it. Someone careened into me. I was a bit of a passenger. But I got the chance to take advantage of it. Mars Manu now leading Hamel, the other German driver, in 2nd. Now I get a little bit shaky out of that left-hander. Talbot's coming up the outside. I hold the inside. He, for some reason, just decides to turn into me, and he ruins his opportunity of getting past me. So, after 1 lap, what we end up with is I'm still in 3rd, just 2 different drivers in front of me. Mars Manu, a great first lap, and he looks very set to go on and win it. However, he carries a bit too much speed round turn 1, and immediately brings Hamel and myself back into it. So, you can see that he's now got less speed as a result from going off track. Get in the tow, and we will at least be up the inside for this corner, but on the outside for the hairpin. Once again, I'm positioning myself for a little switchback manoeuvre, which I am a big fan of. Here we go for the switchback. Mars Manu ends up using the other German driver as a little bit of a barrier, little battering ram. And now we've got a fight going on. He's got the track position, but he's also offline. So that means I can now carry the momentum through to this next corner. Crucially, I get myself alongside so I can take the proper racing line through here. His shallow angle means he touches the wall, bashes wide, and we get through. And that is how we plan a move over a couple of corners. Not bad. So now we're in the lead with about half a lap to go. Coming up here, there are 2 big braking zones where if anyone wants to have a bit of a dash, and you see there's quite a few people there, they could. So, we brake. Watch out! Hamel, 1981, probably angry that Mars Manu used him as a bit of a battering ram before. Tries to do so to us, but we come off unscathed up the hill. There is 1 more big braking zone downhill into this chicane. Mars Manu has had previous with driving into people. There are so many cars behind us. What's going to happen? He goes in, he goes for it, but thankfully he gets it wrong and hits the wall. And the curse is finally broken. We pick up another win, but crucially a win from somewhere that isn't pole position. Fastest lap as well. That is what I'm talking about. That's progress. Now, importantly, I then went back on and improved my qualifying time, because it's not just about the race wins, it is about trying to bring the pace gap down. and it does go down, but again, not massively, only a little bit, but at least we've still managed to bring it down and pick up a win from this event. Now, back into Group 3 cars, again, as it seems to always be the case, back in the Porsche GT3, which I've won in before, and we're in Daily Race C, so tyre wear is in play. We're at Kyoto, the Yamagiwa and Miyabi layout smashed together, starting third, and immediately a really good start on this fellow Porsche driver. We pull out into the right hand hairpin and make a good move, good start, and we can see the Swiss driver in the McLaren F1 not having the best time of it, so early start. Obviously I've finally broken my duck of winning from lower than pole. I've got confidence in me here, very much so, and having won on a different version of this track and in this car before, I'm feeling confident. I'm going to want to try and challenge for a win here. Now obviously being bashed out the way by D Martex, not great, but Skamali does us a bit of a favour here. He does a bit of a speculative lunge and ends up just helping me hang on to second place for now. And we continue the chase after Smile 166. Coming up to a corner now that I have had previous with, but I've got it wrong before, not really taking the best line through. Right on the back of them, and we managed to force a mistake. They go right over the inside of that corner, and lo and behold, after a slight delay, they have a half-second penalty. So we don't have to worry too much about getting past them as long as we're close by the penalty line. But we force them into another error, they run wide, and we take the lead. A great start to this race, third to first. The most important thing now is to continue the consistency, but also make sure I get the right strategy. I've started on the harder tyre in the hope that I can finish on the softer, faster, medium tyre. Oh, and look at that, making a mistake on that corner once again. Scornale into the lead, unfortunately. Finally makes the move stick this time. Kind of made it easy for the guy, unfortunately. So yes, my plan is very much to one-stop this, which, as we're going to see, is probably an ill-advised plan. Hit at the back by Alaswamy, and we lose another position and we're back down to third. So my mistake and then someone else's nonsense means kind of struggling now on lap 3. We can see the tyres are already starting to wear, and we can see 2 Italian drivers in. One was on the mediums, one was on the hards. I feel very much like it's the right call to go one more lap. The problem is there are a lot of long multi-apex corners that kill the tyres, and when you don't have the tyre wear, it just doesn't do any favours. And within the space of that one lap, Scanali has already caught us up and will overtake us before we have a chance to pit. So, made the wrong decision there on the tyres, it has to be said. So we switch to the mediums, and for some reason I'm still thinking I'm going to do a one-stop race here, despite the fact that my hards have run out of juice at the halfway point and I'm going to do another half a race on the mediums. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking either. Anyway, while we're on the fresher mediums, it gives us a chance to go on the attack up against Jericho in the Supra. Again, trying to go for the cutback. Need to get braver on the accelerator. Don't know really. And we are back up to third, holding steady in that position. Still think there's a chance for the win here. And you know what? The right strategy could do it. Lap 6, coming around this corner, and yellow flag. Scanale has clearly had a scrap with Alaswamy in the lead. Alaswamy's right there, we're up to second. We're in this. This is going quite well. 2 laps to go, but again, tyres are still holding on. I'm still thinking I can maybe stay out. Alaswamy goes in the pits with the mediums. I really should have followed him in. I cross the line and do knock out fastest lap, so proof that I've got the pace, but the tyres are about to fall away. And they're about to fall away in a big way. I could have probably gone into the pits at the same time as Alaswamy and then raced him out for the win. However, as it was earlier in the race, because I've stayed out a lap longer, Alaswamy has already caught me before the lap is even out. And obviously it's lap 7 of 8. So I'm now thinking, well, surely it's too late to go in the pits now. And I have decided to stay out. Look at the state of those tyres. And despite there being a 5-second gap just a lap ago, Jericho is now right on me. So I'm now fighting to try and hang on so I can have an improvement on where I started. Started third. Finishing second isn't so bad, especially considering I've had an absolutely awful strategy. And I'm going to go defensive all the way through this final section. On the defensive line into this left-hander, I know he is going to go around the outside. So I'm going to try and brake later, try and force him, keep him wide as much as I can. But then he does what I failed to do to him, the cutback, and makes it stick really well. We are side by side, I'm on the inside for the next corner. We know I've had problems with this little complex. I bail out of it. Struggling with those tyres. Jericho drives away. Started third, finished third. A slightly better strategy, and it could have been better, because the driving wasn't that bad. The pace gap unfortunately goes up only by 700th of a second, but we have only just started. Part 1 of 3 of my finale has come to an end. Next time, more races. I will explain to you why this series was such a mistake to start with, and why it was probably doomed to fail from the beginning. Plus, more action. We are going to be at Subuka Circuit, easy for you to say, Maggiore and Dragon Trail Gardens. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching.